Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Shay, your local numerologist. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share. Make sure you leave your experiences below. I do love to hear them. So today I pulled Life Path 3. So we are talking about the second quarter of this year, 2023. Whenever you hear this reading, it is relevant. However, specifically, we are talking about this second quarter of the year. So it'll be like April through June. All right. And basically what you need to be aware of over these next few months. So we have Life Path 3. So you guys are master communicators. And the reason that is because 3 is kind of like this creative energy where you guys can find a lot of different ways to say things, different ways to relate to people. I get kind of like this abstract type of energy. All right, and honestly, you're gonna need it. So let's see what we got here. So the subject is just taking a look at emotions. Take a look at your emotions regarding this situation. I was getting betrayal and lack of trust. And so over here, there was some separation, and now you don't trust people's motivations, how it's holding you back. And then over here, this last pile is going to be your first step. So let's go ahead and get into things. Okay, let's get into it. Let's talk about the past real quick. What has been going on? Self-love. Okay, so we have Lizzo here on self-love. I love Lizzo. I think that she is a great motivator. I feel that Lizzo can be extremely honest at times. And I do feel that at least she believes that it works against her. At the end of the day, and this is just how I feel and being a spiritual being, being open and honest about how you feel is always going to be healthier than holding it in. However, sometimes you may face backfire or backlash from outsiders. And so this is telling me that this is somebody that you trusted with some very intimate information about you. Maybe it was something you were scared of, ashamed of. Maybe it was a new goal that you made. But you opened up to this person and they absolutely betrayed your trust. Okay, so before I got this card, I was definitely thinking in terms of like intimate relationships. So it may be that, but it also may not, you know. um I have secrets from people that I'm not even friends with anymore that I absolutely am going to take to my grave because it's none of anybody else's business. The things that they told me in confidence. And so when you come across people who just don't care, who are just going to tell your business because it might be, the thing to do at the time, make them feel better about themselves. Maybe they weren't really a real friend, whatever the case may be. It can be pretty harmful to your psyche. And also, of course, if you are sharing your secrets with someone, it's not something they should be telling other people. But I do get the energy that is exactly what was done. We got some numbers here. We have 7 of Cups. And then we have the Knight of Wands. Okay. Um, the 7 of Cups, it reads as options a lot of times, but it also comes off as an illusion, right? Because with the 7 of Cups, you have all these different choices that you're looking at, and honestly, let me pull this down some more. You may not necessarily recognize what is the right thing to do because the whole path isn't laid out. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, I'm at this job, I don't like this job, but if I take this new job, I might hate that just as much. So it's kind of like, okay, well, the grass is probably greener on the other side. Then again, it could be a lot worse. So we kind of like taking a shot in the dark. You know what I'm saying? I do get that, and I don't know why creative is just here. So you might have had some kind of creative project with this person, and whatever, they betrayed you, they turned their back on you. I'm getting the energy with the Knight of Wands here that this is somebody who absolutely thought that they could like take your dream or whatever you were working for and turn it into something for themselves and kind of leave you out of it. Kind of leave you out of it. We got 42. So we got the compass. Um, 42 also comes to a 6. So we do got 7 here, and then we got 6. And then we have a 4 and 2, which are the numbers on the outside of 3. I don't know why that's important just yet, but it is something that I see looking at the numbers. Um, but this whoever this was that betrayed you, that pretty much turned their back on you, they did have their eye on the prize. They had their life all mapped out, and it just wasn't working the way that they thought. And they thought that whatever you were given, whatever you did, whatever you created was much better. And this was kind of the cause of the betrayal, which it feels a little painful. I'm not going to like bullshit or anything like that. It does feel like it was painful. All right, so we have the Ten of Swords. Y'all see this? It says despair. So the Ten of Swords represents harsh endings, backstabbing, things like that. When the Ten of Swords comes up in reverse, this is something that's been happening, right? This isn't the first time. This could be the second, third, 10th time. Like this person, or this instant, because it doesn't even have to be the same person. It's just the vibe that they were giving off. And you guys weren't paying attention to your instincts, right? So I'm not gonna tell you, hey, if you had somebody hurt you before in a relationship, then you shouldn't love. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that, but there are characteristics, there are red flags, right? So if every time you tell this person something about your life that you're really hype about and they can't get hype with you, that's a red flag. They should be hyped too. Even if they pretending, you feel me? Because like at the end of the day, when you're with somebody and you care about them and they like, oh my God, I just got this, like their hypeness, like how excited they are about that should make you excited too, right? Even if it's just, oh my God, I'm so glad this person is so excited about that. I'm happy for them, right? It shows maturity, it shows love, it shows caring, empathy, all of those things that whoever this is was pretty much missing. With the number 7 here, I do get the energy of just really taking a good look at that relationship and seeing where you were giving too much, right? We love and no shade to people. Everybody loves to think that they're giving the most love of their life and they're the most lighted beings ever. And oh, yeah, this person was toxic, blah, 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 all of that. Okay. And all of that could be true. But none of us are perfect, right? And this isn't about striving to be perfect as opposed to kind of like striving to be a better person. And it's hard to do that when you look at people like, oh yeah, just stupid characteristics, right? Like, okay, for instance, Lizzo's a big girl, and let's say you've been hurt by a big girl, so you're like, no, big girls are heartless. You know what I'm saying? They like to hurt people and they don't care about you. They're just gonna use you and da 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 da. When it's like, okay, users, that's like a human nature thing. What did this person particularly do, right? When you were saying your hopes and dreams, they was like, okay, yeah, oh man, that's so sad. Can I get $500? You struggling, your car just broke down. They got a car, they're like, man, I can't get you right now. I have all this shit to do. I have, they and you have invested your time and money into them. Those are the red flags, right? You get what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily this action, and we run into this with men and women all the time. All men are this, all women are this, blah 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 blah, when really we are talking about a specific type of man or a specific type of woman that we don't necessarily care for. These aren't characteristics that everybody has. And let me tell you something else: when you hold that type of energy to a specific group of people or whatever the case, especially we talking about gender and it's the gender that you want. I'm just using this as an example. It can really bring negative energy to you. Okay, so it's okay to recognize what red flags are, but you are in this energy of just not trusting anybody, cutting everybody off, feeling like everybody's a backstabber. And honestly, I'm not gonna argue about taking time away from everybody and taking time to yourself, because that can be a very very important thing. um, so take the time, right, to get your to know yourself again after you've gone through a heavy period in life. But while you're doing that, try not to talk bad about people that you haven't actually met or haven't shown those signs of like the red flag energy. Okay. All right. So now we are going to get into how it's holding you back. So the first chakra came out, base chakra, courage and faith. I embrace courage, faith, and adaptability as they are needed for me to overcome my fear of change or the future. And so we're going to stop this right here. This is what I used to do in class. We're going to stop this right here and let's talk about the first little sentence here, the first paragraph, if you will. Um, Faith. You guys lack faith, right? And this is what I see: courage, faith, and adaptability, right? And this courage is the courage to open yourself up to another person. The faith that, hey, spirit will actually send you soulmates and people in your life that are going to kind of embrace your culture and kind of encourage you to move forward. Okay. And the adaptability. Okay, you have to be okay with change. You have to be okay with changing your mindset, how you think, changing your viewpoint. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're on the inside for so long, it's hard to see what it would look like from the outside. But sometimes you have to take that point of view, right? It's not only the point of view of putting yourself in somebody's shoes, it's also the point of view of taking yourself out of your own shoes and looking at it from like a third party type of energy. I regularly remind myself to be positive and open to possibilities, knowing that I am the creator of my own destiny. Like, you guys are literally creatives, right? You are, I don't know why I want to say manipulators, but I feel like Spirit gave me that word as in manipulation of like energy. And some of you, if you are like a manipulator in a very negative way, just get your shit together. I don't too much like to focus on y'all that's being negative, because I don't think that it changes anything. If you want to be a negative person, that's what you're going to do. But anyway, you are the creator of your own destiny. You are literally a creative. And what I feel like most anything is that you manifest love in your life. You manifest things in your life, right? Because the way your mind works, the way your third eye is like open, because of the creativeness of who you are, then you really manifest the things that you constantly focus on. So, regularly reminding yourself to be positive and open to the possibilities will help you in terms of when your reality is dealing with despair, right? When you are dealing with people who are trying to take your self love away, right? So, I do last paragraph, well, I guess last two. I embrace the warrior within me. I remind myself to be a warrior, not a worrier. I am not a victim. I feel fear and I do it anyway. I am ready and eager to move forward. Some of you guys, and I really don't like to get into the romantic thing. But some of you guys have soulmates coming, just like that. And for those of you who have romantic soulmates coming, first of all, it's about to knock you on your ass, okay? It's gonna be almost some shit you ain't never seen before. In Hours and Hours in that Money Long song, my favorite part of that song is when as she talking about after she say she don't normally like nobody, and then she's like, then I met you. When I met you, I knew this was it. I never been in love like this. And like that is absolutely hands down. That's where you're going to be. But you have to allow it, right? Cuz she talks about, "Hey, I almost gave up on love." And that's where we be at. We be like, man, fuck this. Everybody crazy. They just want sex, or they want money, or they want status, or they too involved with their ex, or they too involved with their mama or their daddy. They always asking their parents what they should be doing. They too attached to their family. They always running every time they call, like, oh my God, their sister, their brother can't get a flat tire without them being like, no, no, I have to go. They're in danger. It's like, call AAA. Everything is not your responsibility. And you guys have dealt with a lot of people who just refuse to put the relationship first, right? And you're going to find that. Now, when it comes to romantic relationships, they we like to put them on the back burner, right? Like, oh yeah, people come and go and da 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 da. Soulmates don't come and go, y'all. They don't. Some people are once in a lifetime. And you don't want to be all caught up in your shit and all judgmental and all caught up in this and that, where you miss out on the love of a lifetime. Whether it's a friend, whether it's a lover, whatever it is. Like, I don't care. Whatever it may be. You have a soulmate coming in, and they are going to kind of lift you up in ways that you never thought before, right? Some of us, like, I haven't had a good friend in years. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I'm not open to friendship. I am, and I try. You know what I'm saying? I try. But it can be really difficult to get close to people, you know? But again, you have to be open to the possibilities, right? You can't just be like, oh yeah, I don't have friends. I'm never gonna have friends. Like, I've never had a good mate. I'm not gonna have one. Like, you will. You will. It's coming. It's coming. At least for y'all. This next quarter is about to be um mentally, emotionally uplifting. One thing about the first chakra is that it helps to balance out everything else. So like when you are having trouble like with your third eye, for instance, like your third eye being off balance will have you seeing all types of crazy shit, right? Or if it's closed, it can have you, it can make it difficult to like manifest or be creative, or, and that's who you are. Um, and so, really, if your base chakra is off, it throws everything else off. So, it will help with every chakra after that. Okay. Okay. So we have the number 12. Y'all know I love 12. 7 of Pentacles. We have 18, the dog, and we have 10 of Cups here, right? Loyalty. So this pile, again, to remind you guys, is how it's holding you back. How it's holding you back. For some of you guys, I'm just going to be 100% honest right now. 100% honest. Some of you guys have lost a family member or somebody that you care a great deal about that just honestly wasn't a good person. And yeah, so for those of you who have experienced this, losing somebody who wasn't a great person when they were here on this earth, because you were close to them, you still have direct access to them. So when we be talking about ancestors, guides, da 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 da, honey, it could go either way, right? We all like to think, oh yeah, we have angels and then the demons are coming for us. Like, I want y'all to can all of that shit. Can it all. Can it all. Okay? We have free will. So does everything else. So do demons, so do angels, so do your guides, so do your ancestors. They have free will. They can do whatever the hell they want to do. And that is not always necessarily, oh yeah, they're going to be the beacon of light. Please lose that fantasy that things are either good or bad. Everything has some goodness to it and some badness to it, right? And so a lot of times when we are put in a situation where we care about somebody, we tend to navigate toward the good in them and kind of ignore the things that are questionable, right? And so what I'm getting right now is that you guys, and for those of you guys who this isn't an ancestor, you guys are being loyal to something or somebody that you care about that you really need to take a second look at. There's some connection here that absolutely needs to end. Like, it has to go. All right, what we got? Perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. I told you. What was I just talking? You could do whatever you want to do. On top of you guys being natural kind of manifestors because your creative energy is so strong, because your communication is so strong, right? So let's go back to this. Let's talk about the number 12 for a second because I always talk about 12. It is like my favorite number. It is the energy that you put in, spirit being like, yeah, that's what I want you to do, and then pushing you forward in that. You communicating that with the world. That is what 12 is about. In a positive light. I like to see it in a positive light. And that's what you guys need to put your mind to, is that number 12 is continuing to persevere forward to the things that you want, because your guys are listening. They are. We got 7 of Swords here coming up in reverse. The 7 of Swords is about getting caught doing something that is not good, something sneaky. I'm kind of feeling like this could go either way. You could be afraid of getting caught for something that you've done in the past, or you can be hiding something for somebody else. Um, Either way, be honest, right? I did a reading the other day and it really put some things into perspective for me, right? And the major lesson that I learned from that reading is that the negative is always going to outweigh the positive if you're doing them both at the same time, right? So you could be like, oh yeah, I give back to the community, but you in a gang and you killing people. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to outweigh whatever you did in the community, because like that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? And so all of that, keeping secrets, doing this and that, like, it has to stop. You have to be honest with yourself first and foremost about whatever this energy means to you and how you can work that out to be a happier, more joyful person, and kind of like how to be I don't know if I want to say relevant, because I don't think that's the word that I'm looking for, but it's kind of like the word that's coming to me. But being relevant to your own growth, not putting it on anybody else. Look at this. Look at this. We have Princess of Cups, Prince of Cups, Queen of Swords. So we have kind of like royalty here, right? What's holding you back? Um, Princess of Cups. So this can be seen as as an apology. It says dreams here, introspection, independence. Okay, so just to read this off to you, Prince of Cups can come off as somebody who kind of love bombs you, right? So you guys, it feels like to me that you're in fear of cutting this person off. And I say fear, but it's kind of like you guys are like, they love me. They keep acting like, because this dude's a love bomber, right? He love bombs. So when it becomes convenient, if he needs somebody to sit by him, he'll just kind of like pour all of this affection um, on you, right? And it could be that they apologize, or maybe you're waiting for an apology, or maybe they apologize over and over and over again. But your inability to cut this person off has you in this stagnant energy. So it feels like to me that there is somebody that uses you, that backstabs you regularly, and they're kind of in your life still just because you're used to them being there. I mean, in all honesty, just used to them being there. So let's move on. First step you should take, magical map shifter. We got 52. Now, do y'all notice the number 7 keeps popping up? I mean, you are life path 3, so 3's popping up. Not a big deal. But the 7s keep coming, right? And 7 is about enlightenment. 7 is about getting down to the truth of it all, right? The physical, the spiritual, the financial matters, all of that energy. Magical map shifter is about you changing your destiny, moving it in the direction that you want it to go, and not kind of like being independent, right? Depending on yourself in order to move forward and to do the things that you need to do. So let's pull these first. Okay, first step, we got 5 of Cups, disappointment, 10 of Wands, burden. The 5 of Cups is a card about grief. It's about loss, right? The 10 of Wands, to me, it makes me feel like there is something that you guys are kind of like not confident in taking care of by yourself. You guys have moved into this space of codependency, and that is something that you are going to have to deal with yourself. This definitely does give the 5 and the 2, the difference between 5 and 2 being 3. Definitely gives the vibe of being challenged in your communication, which goes directly against being in the life path 3. So you guys are in great conflict right now because you feel shut down and shut up. And this is something that you are going to have to deal with, right? I want to say man up, woman up, adult up, be grown. Be grown. Have the courage to say what you need to say and do what you need to do. And again, sometimes you'll be in this energy where you're like, oh my God, if I say this, it's going to backfire. And again, some people might not like it. Some people don't like the truth. Some people don't like when you live in your truth because they're unable to. And that can mean a lot of different things, right? Right. How hard is it to be an artist or to have a sexuality or a gender identity? That's not the norm, right? Or to be like, have a spirituality or a religion that's different than everybody else's. It can be a little, challenging, okay? But at the end of the day, you have to be you, right? And it takes courage to be yourself. But the opposite of that courage is a cowardice. And what do they say? A coward dies 1,000 deaths. You don't want to be that coward. You don't want to be that person that's just like, oh, it hurts. It's so damaging to you not to live in your truth Not only because your truth is what defines your destiny and the path that you need to walk in life. Not only because of that, but because it's harmful to your psyche and who you are in general. It's hard to develop yourself when you're keeping it a secret, right? Let's see what we got going on here. Look at that. We got 23. Okay. And then we have 21. Right. So we got another 3. Well, a couple 3s. We have the 3s are kind of like standing out here. Right. To me, I'm getting some kind of legal separation. I'm getting that you guys need to take the steps to move away from this energy. Unfortunately, it looks like there needs to be some paperwork done. It looks like a mountain of paperwork. There's literally a mountain here. And 8 of Wands is about messages and things moving pretty quickly as well. But with this here mountain message, there may be a lot of paperwork that you have to do. There may be a message that you need to get out that you are honestly just really, really struggling with. But it does feel like to me that the disappointment that you have in life is causing some kind of burden for you. Somebody's being dishonest. Like, I can't help but to feel that somebody, like, you guys are dealing with a great deal of dishonesty. A lot of lies, right? We even had the, what do we have? The 7 of Swords over here. 7 of Swords is a liar. A sneaky little thief. Right? You guys have to address that. Okay? You guys are, that's too much. Too much. Knight of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Cups coming up in reverse. The 3 of Pentacles. You know, it could go either way. So let's talk about these 3 cards. So the Knight of Pentacles is slow, okay? Knight of Pentacles moves slow. Knight of Pentacles moves so super slow. It can also be, the Knight of Pentacles is also Virgo energy. And Virgo energy can be a very like perfectionist type of energy. So you guys may struggle with kind of keeping boundaries. Sorry, I was reading something. I'm just like, you guys may struggle with keeping boundaries. And that is because you want to be perfect. So a lot of times you are listening to other people's feedback and yeah. So what I'm getting now is that there is some feedback that you do need to listen to and hear wholeheartedly, but it's not from the person who is hurting you, right? If somebody is hurting you consistently, whether intentionally or unintentionally, that's not the advice you should be listening to, because they don't care how you feel. And so if they don't care how you feel, then they don't know how you feel. And they don't know what's best for you, right? 3 of Pentacles is working with somebody, where the 3 of Cups in reverse is about a reconciliation. I do feel like there was something going on that separated you guys from having a relationship with someone else, right? And again, this doesn't have to be romantic. Could be, I don't know. But this person has been in your past for a while, and Spirit does want you to reconcile with them. Whatever this relationship is over here, I feel like this person has caused you to cut somebody out of your life that really you needed. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up because this video is too long. What's the final message for my life path 3s to move away from this? Water element. 10 of water, second time we saw that. The sun, and then we have the air element. So first of all, we have masculine and feminine energy on the board. As I always tell you guys, balance is perfect, right? So we also have water and air. Our next air season is Gemini. Water season is Pisces, because we're going to be in that. But in the second quarter, excuse me, in the second quarter, the air elements that we are looking at are Gemini and Cancer elements. Then we have the Ten of Cups and the Sun, which represents Leo. The Ten of Water is Pisces, got to be Pisces, right? So what I'm getting is this feels like now through summer. Just gonna be real, because like I said, Virgo earlier, and your advice during this time period is to kind of put yourself first. The love that you have for people, the recognition, I don't know if I'm saying that word right, that you get from people. Pay attention to that, right? Focus on your love, what builds your love. Focus on what builds your own self-esteem. And give that to people who deserve it, right? Don't focus so much, because I'm just going to say this. I'm going to wrap this up. Sometimes when we get around people who are, what do they call them? Negative Nancy's, that always just see the bad in everybody. Like, oh, they said that because they just wanted to fuck you. They don't value you. Oh, people don't really, have good intentions with you. Like, you guys have somebody on your team that is literally doing everything they can to separate you from other people. So when people are like that, when they only have negative things to say about everybody else, it is because that is something that they see in themselves, right? Look at this. Love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things, right? So people, what do they call it? They project their energy. And that is definitely what I get here. That somebody has been projecting their energy on you until you took that energy as your own, right? So in this place and time, I do need you guys to do a little bit of focusing on being happy, and kind of like satisfying that part in your life. Anyway, I'm about to let y'all go because it's reading long as fuck. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. And, oh yeah, happiness is always a goal. So I'm glad it came up late. And I will see you guys next time.